Hello.
Hey, pal.
2 seconds I've had these on. 2 seconds.
Oh, wow. What's
How?
up? What we got on there?
How?
What do we got on there?
I don't know.
It's brown.
How does everybody keep their sneakers so clean all the time?
What animal do you
Second,
think did
No,
that?
there's no way it's shit on the front of my shoe.
Oh, I had.
It's just dirt.
Oh, I
But it's
thought it
just
was.
like, what the f***? Also, I have to eat this donut. Why do you guys look like you've been doing a podcast without me already?
He started the audio already.
What the f***? You're
Uh,
not that late. You were late.
I was late. Kevin is early.
Yeah, well, that's Kevin. That's Kevin's kind of thing.
Professionalism?
Dorkiness.
It's one word
Kevin's
for it.
thing. Do you think this is really
You're gonna want to not rub it into our rug if it is poop.
Should we do a podcast?
I don't really feel like it today, if
Yeah.
I can be honest. What were you doing that made you late?
I was talking to a class over Zoom.
What?
Where?
Does it really matter?
It matters.
I talked to a Harvard thing last week.
Okay,
What-
guys,
why-
what
what
the
is
fuck? They barely let me talk at Hofstra, the Harvard of Long Island.
That's right. It was at Harvard.
It was at
virtually.
Harvard?
Virtually.
You talked to students at Harvard?
I mean, I just want to know how Kevin was already, ready to one-up me on this. What did
Neither
you do?
of you are smart enough for this.
There's something called the sports analytics thing or something.
Oh, yeah. I've spoken to them before.
That's MIT. Aren't you guys talking about
No,
MIT?
no.
They
I
started
was
their own
surprised
thing.
too.
Sloan.
It's
MIT.
somehow less cool than the MIT one. And in that way, maybe more cool.
Where do you currently stand on Daryl Morey?
Refused to come on this show.
He did?
I asked him and he passed.
He doesn't pass on anything.
Respect. Do you say respectfully? I pass.
Let me see.
No.
Let me quote Daryl's. I think it was even worse than that. Oh, here. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
Daryl, this is in January 18th. Daryl, hope you're good, amigo. Oh, I hate that I did that
Oh,
card.
what the
I didn't mean to say that out loud.
What the
This is way too behind the curtain on how I book
was
things.
that amigo?
You
Ew.
people deserve
now
an
you have to
amigo
read all of
less
it.
than Daryl
Now you
Morey.
have to read all of it.
Oh, God.
Don't censor it.
Daryl, exclamation point.
Yeah, great.
Hope you're good, comma, amigo, period. I hate myself. I really hate that I just read that.
Me too.
Would love for you to come on my show. What would be the best dates for you?
Oh, wait.
That's a gym sales tactic.
Wait.
You're backing him into a corner.
So in the first text,
Yeah.
you're
That's a
like,
sales tactic.
Send me dates.
That's the sales tactic.
Yeah,
You're supposed to go, is it better for you on a Monday or a Wednesday? You offer them something so they don't feel like the third option of no thanks is available to them. But Daryl Morey is well trained in the art of no thanks.
This is Wolf of Wall Street. You're selling penny stocks here.
But here's the thing. I followed up, beating my chest.
Oh, he didn't respond.
Rhythmically.
He didn't
No,
respond.
I after I said, what would be the best dates for you, question mark,
God.
I said, happy to work around your schedule.
Yeah, I bet. But,
Period.
but here are the 3 days.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Happy to work
So
on
look,
the schedule
I didn't
on
really
these 3
have,
days.
This is your king?
I didn't really have a specific timeline. I just wanted to have him on the show to talk
Yeah.
about it. Was mid-season,
Yeah.
obviously.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
No, you were
Just
chill.
a
You were super
check-in.
chill.
7 hours
Check-in.
later.
Oh, 7 hours
7
later.
hours later.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Sick.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Oh, no.
wow.
Oh, Jesus
This is
Christ.
one unbroken sentence, no
Yeah.
punctuation.
Oh, God damn it.
Let me coordinate with our PR.
So first of
And-
all, he's already sending you back to PR.
He basically said, don't contact me, contact my
That's
people.
exactly what he
How
said.
dare you come
That's
straight to me?
exactly what
Oh,
he
cool.
I can't find the Sixers thing,
Oh,
the PR
okay, yeah, I
thing,
bet, but you deleted it.
but I think I furiously deleted it because they said something along the lines of, we're going to pass on this one.
Ah, yeah.
This one really
This
hurt.
one
I remember
hurts.
that.
when there's a condescending PR email, I just
This one is
fly
in-
into a rage.
This one is internal language, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that this one was supposed to make it out of the house.
It's an attempt to soften a blow, and in reality, it
instead-
just sharpens.
Yeah.
Sharpens the
I'm
fucking
deeply
knife.
unhappy with
Yeah.
how things are going right now.
I
I actually kind of don't want to do this podcast anymore. And I have
yeah.
shit on my shoe.
You do have on your shoe.
You do.
Dog, I just got these. It's crazy. What, I splash in it?
That is, if you can just zoom in, I don't know if we can get some exclusive.
I don't know if I can get them at the right angle.
That's
I
clearly
took-
shit, Katie.
No, it isn't. It's splashed up. It's not clearly.
How is?
Ew, is it? It would smell. I have a really
All right,
powerful
Kevin.
nose. It would smell.
Can you?
Kev, does that
can you-
smell like
Can you
anything?
smell that?
Kevin's gonna
Do it
No, it's
for the
not.
good
not
of the
shit.
show.
It's not shit. I
For the
can't believe
good
you
of
just
the
did that.
show.
I can't believe you. With
We
a
needed
mustache.
to find out if you
I
had
gotta
dog.
see.
With the mustache.
We need to find if you had dog on your shoe.
Are you getting up to smell?
Yeah. Actually, this is.
It's not shit.
That might be shit.
No, it's not.
Kevin Clark is back on Share and
Hi.
Tell. Magisterial. The mustache that Kevin Clark brought to us.
Thank you.
I wanted to start, though, with a story actually related to what it's like when you show up in person looking a little different from how you expected. There's this article in the New York Times that is titled, "The TV Show That Predicted America's Lonely, Disorienting Digital Future." And it's about the MTV reality series Catfish.
Shout out.
And I guess most of America actually encountered catfish as a term during, if you guys remember this, of course, the Manti Te'o scandal. Because
If we remember this.
If we remember this.
What?
Jack Swarbrick, the athletic director of Notre Dame, had a press conference in which he talked about what happened to Manti Te'o and his, of course, fake girlfriend. And he said this.
I would refer all of you, if you're not already familiar with it, with both the documentary called Catfish, the MTV show, which is a derivative of that documentary, and the sort of associated things you'll find online and otherwise about catfish or catfishing.
Yes.
Associated things you'll find online and otherwise, that's a sentence that means absolutely nothing.
I think he's suggesting that we get catfished in order to
Right. He's like, maybe
understand
you should talk
the
to a lady
story.
who's too hot to talk to you.
So that was 2013. And Katie, I did not realize this. Katie has, I think, watched more Catfish than anybody else on the planet.
Here's the thing. If you are of this current, young generation, you probably know MTV as the channel that plays that Rob Dyrdek show.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness all day, or Catfish all day. And so when it's not baseball season, and I'm sitting at home, jobless, not jobless, but jobless, and I need something to watch on the background of TV, I usually will just put on Catfish because it's one of those shows that has a formula and it hits all the beats of the formula. So at any point you can pay attention for 2 minutes and be like, oh, that's where we're at in the story, and then you can get right back to what you're doing. It does not distract you too much. It's very good background television.
The basic premise of the term catfish is also kind of interesting insofar as the documentary, the way it got coined is about some quote that someone said in the doc. It's a very complicated and stupid metaphor, but basically, let me find it. It's,
Lay it on us.
It's about fish, right? So he tells a story about how cod were shipped by boat in vats from Alaska to China, but the fish would arrive mushy and tasteless, right?
Right.
And so eventually, these fish people added catfish to the vats alongside the cod because they would nip at them and basically keep them stimulated. And so the quote in the doc is, there are these people who are catfish in life. They keep you guessing, they keep you thinking, they keep you fresh. So that's just the origin of a term that is now universally known as this thing.
I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
I know. I thought they were going to say they put the cod inside the catfish.
Or that they pretended that the catfish were the cod.
Nope,
Yeah.
none of
no,
that.
So none of that. So did you see that documentary?
Yes,
Did
in
you?
theaters.
I did too, because the marketing for it was really good. I remember it was time collapses upon itself in my brain, but it wasn't that far after Blair Witch in the sense that it gave
I beg
the vibe.
your pardon?
It was after, but it wasn't that far after.
When did the doc come
Hold on.
out?
Blair Witch
Was
came out in
1998.
99.
99.
Catfish
Well,
Was
it
2005?
2010.
Oh, so it was further. Okay,
Yeah.
see, time collapses on itself in my brain. I said that.
I will say the filmmakers of Blair Witch are from Orlando, so it's possible I was an early adopter.
There, God, I always forget that you're from there, and then you immediately remind me.
Yeah.
It marketed itself.
Yeah, we would never want to build an identity around a hometown.
It marketed itself.
Yeah, you would never do that.
I did it, and I'm proud of it. Yours is nothing to be proud of.
I'm extremely proud
Katie
of it.
walked in here with a bag of Dunkin' Donuts.
Whatever.
For the record.
Anyway,
So it might have ended there if not for the entrepreneurialism, I suppose, of Neve Schulman, who got this co-host. I guess it was Max at the time.
Yes,
that
it
guy
was
Max.
Max. Yep.
But has since had a rotating series of
I
co-hosts.
think Max was like, this has run its course.
Yeah.
And Neve was like, no, it has not.
No, it
Neve is
hasn't.
like, this elevator is still unsafe.
That's right. Someone needs to let the people know.
But I suppose that the thing about this show is that it did sort of presage to the article's premise a lot about what it would be like to interact with people on the internet. Just constantly being lied to and then discovering upon actually physically encountering them how they are not what they promised themselves to be. And there's a clip from Catfish.
Ooh.
There are so many great episodes.
So many.
I think people get the gist of what happens in it. This is the clip.
Jesus
Same girl.
Christ.
Yeah.
Couple things here.
Let's hear them.
I've never seen this show.
Perfect.
I obviously
You've never?
No.
Not an episode.
Not an
Accidentally?
episode. The only reason I know that guy is from the meme. Really, and I don't know if the crutches, that was like a temporary thing or he's always on
It's
crutches.
temporary,
like,
but
it's
I
his
mean,
thing.
mentally, they're all the time.
I
That's
do
accurate.
like the sort of like the detective work. I'm going to take a stab at this, and then it's the most obvious shit you've ever heard in your entire life. I thought that was amazing. I'm going to be like you, become addicted to the show.
It's good. They try to schedule a meetup between the two, and then the big reveal is at the end when they are waiting, usually in a park. Sometimes they go to a person's house and they like confront them, and there's like they go right to commercial as the door is about to open or as the car is pulling up, and you're about to find out, is it really them? In all the episodes I've watched, I think it's been really them 3 times that I've seen. Most times you get somebody that is socially awkward, who has clearly either insecurity issues, like they are uncomfortable with the way that they look, or they're like weirdly like manipulative and antisocial in that way. Like
Yeah,
I've seen
like
girls
that
who
guy
like,
that we
yes.
saw before.
And there's a girl who gets confronted and she can't stop laughing. It's very uncomfortable for the viewer where she's like, I do it because it's fun. And you're like, oh, it's brutal to watch. So what is this article saying that it
glad you
predicates?
asked.
Yeah.
So basically,
Presages, sorry, was the word you used, Harvard.
I think presages really does tell the story here. But there was
Who's
a study.
texting you? What's so important?
I was texting Cortez. I want photos for Instagram.
Great.
Great.
The study.
Honesty is the best policy. We're going to do lie there and be like, I'm
Catfish
responding.
me.
Yeah, I'm being catfished as we speak.
Like, get my good
Really
side.
beautiful girl wants
Get the
my
good
phone
side
number.
of this mustache. The study that they cited here it speaks to the way that this is not just limited. God damn it, Cortez.
Are you serious?
Actively.
No, I didn't know he was going to make it that
Cortez
obvious.
is going
I didn't
Neve
know-
Showman.
We're
I
trying to
didn't
do
know
a
it was going to be that
podcast.
obvious, and now he's
God
standing
damn.
here. Well, I apologize on behalf of Cortez.
Take
Well, this
your own
unfortunately
fucking
embodies
pictures.
the study that I was going to cite. Because the study is about how everybody has fallen victim to a scam like this, or at least to a degree that is stunning. So there's this one study, University of New Hampshire. 1,100 adults were surveyed. About 70% described themselves as a victim of a catfishing scam.
What?
What?
70%.
70%.
And so look, the degree to which one says, hey, I got catfish, I assume there are degrees of this, right? But clearly this is a thing that people, have encountered.
70%.
So I think there's so you mentioned the degrees. There's so many. We all get DMs now that are just like, hey, I got one yesterday that said, hi, are you a boxer? And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, where is this going?
Yeah.
And so I think we all get, so that, I don't know.
What
if-
did you say?
What did I say? That's what I was.
Texting, yeah.
No, but like,
That's why I needed the pictures.
yeah, I think there is. That's what I was sending. But I think there is an element of like, if you get that, are you being catfished? You just don't respond and you move on with your life. But then there are people who have emotional, like weeks long, or they get their money stolen.
It's also just the forerunner of how we're all presenting ourselves online. But it doesn't sound like either of you guys have actually been victimized by catfish.
No, I have friends in real life, so I don't need to do weird excursions.
That's a very painful
that's what
way of saying.
artists thought.
Because I was going to say, I think that it comes down to like, I think we're very lonely right now. I think people are isolated more so than we think. I think the pandemic made that worse. And so I think that people are very vulnerable to being preyed upon their emotions and like being
Yes.
told that they're loved and wanted. They're so hungry for that they look past what seems to us on the outside like very obvious indicators of a scam. They're like, no, it's different for me, but it's not. But it's I don't blame them for that, for falling for it.
I think, and I've read a little bit about like, people are okay being lied to in some situations. Like before the internet, there was a wave of guys who like pretended to be famous people and just were not. Like I remember in Orlando, famously, someone pretended to be former Orlando Magic forward Jeff Turner for years, and was just
Profitable.
like, "That's
Really
me." I'm like, I
profitable.
think Roethlisberger did that as well. I think Roethlisberger had like a guy who like in Ohio was like, "I'm Ben Roethlisberger, everybody," in like 2004,
Oh,
and people were
sure.
like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
Before, in the
Fake,
before?
remember fake Clay Thompson?
Yeah, but that wasn't a scam. That was just to get attention. I think some people are
What
like,
were the
I'm
scam?
gonna.
What were they scamming
No,
for?
they're like scamming women or like, hey, let me live with
I
you.
think that was the
I'm
real Ben
Jeff-
Roethlisberger, honestly. But that's just my
I'm
opinion.
looking this up.
Okay.
Fake Ben
Yeah,
Roethlisberger.
yeah. All right.
hoax.
A man claimed to be Ben Roethlisberger and Brian St. Pierre.
Do they look
Wow.
alike?
I don't know. Brian Jackson dated 2 women by pretending to be both of these folks, was charged with harassment for continuing to talk to both women. Jackson often talked of his teammates and offered to autograph footballs for neighborhood kids. So what I'm saying is, I mean, neighborhood kids are coming up to fake Brian St. Pierre or fake Ben Roethlisberger and be like, here you go. Please autograph a ball. Like, some people just like being lied to. What I will ask is that what is the difference between there's some scamming involved here, but like I do believe at some point, if not already, people are like probably going to be into the idea of like dating AI. The her stuff.
So that's
yeah.
So this part
let's go to
scares
the
me.
present tense, which
Yes.
is I am constantly look. My algorithm.
Is it better to be scammed, like, and you're talking to a real person, or you're just doing the her thing and you're talking to a bot?
If only what I've seen from AI generated, typically, I guess in my algorithm, women in my For You page, if only they were as complicated.
I beg your pardon.
I don't
What,
get,
was I
I
humble
don't get
bragging
sexy
getting
men in my
served
For You
AI
page.
women?
Yeah.
I don't get anybody
No.
in my. I get in
Okay.
my replies. I get a lot of in bio,
Sure.
but I'm not getting a lot of like men made in a factory trying to seduce me.
Yeah, my For You page is people mad about Columbia University right now.
Mine
In
is-
all different
Mine
directions.
is always like public fights that I don't want
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of cafeteria fights.
Yeah, I get a lot of like, check out this Karen. And you're like, oh,
What?
should I?
But wait, are you guys unfamiliar then with the whole
Yeah, I
notion that there are like wildly popular pages full of AI generated women who are clearly AI? Oh
Never
my
once.
God.
What are you clicking on, Pablo?
Look, they are very, very popular pages. And it's unclear to me, to Kevin's point, whether people are all being fooled by this or whether they're just into
don't
it
care, they just
and
wanna
might
see
even
boobies.
prefer it.
Mhm.
Prefer the idea of being sold a fiction that is, I guess, giving them what they want, which is entirely specific to, a surface level sort of relationship.
Do these feel like relationships? These feel like people that are interacting, or is it just like look at these boobies?
All right, let me.
Because
I'm
when
gonna
it comes
find,
to look at these
I'm
boobies,
gonna
I
look at
don't
these
think
boobies
men.
Right now.
I don't think that for work.
Women for
I
work.
don't think men feel like they need to know the woman's real in order to have the boobies make them feel a certain type of way.
Okay, so here's
broadly
one.
agree.
Okay, so meet Aitana.
Oh, Aitana.
Spain's first AI model.
I mean, she's
was
beautiful.
She's
earning-
earning 10,000 euros a month.
She never has to shave her armpits. They just
Yep.
come like that. Look at those boobies.
She's 25.
Yep.
I'm glad they specified that.
I mean,
Aitana, 25,
For
a
what?
pink-haired woman from Barcelona, receives weekly private messages from celebrities asking her out.
sorry?
Celebrities.
Name and
Celebrities.
shame.
Name.
Is not real.
Aitana.
What do you mean,
Name and
Aitana?
shame,
I would be
Aitana.
afraid to DM an AI bot just because I'd be afraid it was like some sort of like a government thing. Then they could like expose. We're gonna publish Aitana's DMs, and you're like, no. Who's trusting a robot to keep their weird kinky secrets?
The creator says this, quote, one day a well-known Latin American actor texted to ask her out. This actor has about 5 million followers, and some of our team watched his TV series when they were kids. He had no idea Aitana didn't exist.
Wow. What does Aitana's bio say? I'm not real.
I'm not real.
And the men just don't
hold on,
check
I'm gonna look
because
this
they
up.
see those
DM for
tots.
dates.
They see those tater tots.
Ooh, wait, hold on.
No, he's on it. This is how he ends up with the For You page.
I
He's
know.
on Aitana's
It's for
Instagram
research.
right now.
Send her a DM.
Aitana Lopez, 310,000 followers. Virtual soul is what it
Virtual
says
soul.
in her thing.
10,000.
Virtual soul.
Digital creator is her occupation. Barcelona's digital muse,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Powered by AI.
powered by AI.
Oh,
is the
gamer.
fine
It says
print.
she's a gamer
Oh,
at heart.
man.
at heart and fitness lover.
And a fitness
man.
lover. And there are some boobies, just to be
There
very.
Are they naked boobies,
No.
Pablo? No, they're
No.
clothed. But they go out past her
I'm
foot.
not looking at the link
why,
tree,
but
though.
that's also why the guys are sending DMs.
Right, because they
She
want to see
leaves-
the.
she
Do you think
leaves
she does it?
something
Do you
to
think
the
she gets down in the
imagination.
DMs? Do you think she sends
Well,
the naked
We
boobies?
have to ask the.
You can
famous
chat with her
actor,
now.
the
You should
TV
chat with her and
actor.
say, "How about those playoffs, huh?"
Yeah, 50%
Expense
discount
that.
if I put in this promo code.
Oh, it costs money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To send
This
her
is
a message, it
scam.
On
costs money.
Telegram.
This
Yeah.
is a scam.
Why do so many people do it?
You should stop seeing this woman.
Should I click
Pablo.
on the link that says sensitive content?
No.
Continue.
I
don't know.
wouldn't. You're on Metalark Wi-Fi.
Are you in
I'm
a?
in.
Are you in a private browser?
Oh, this is like a.
This is like a Patreon.
This is
page.
like an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Or what I'm told is an OnlyFans.
Yeah, good, Pablo. Good save.
Has the behavior of an OnlyFans.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's all blurred out.
Oh well,
So
pay the $9.99.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow for free. I'm going to
Follow
stop signing
for
up for this.
free.
I am.
He's like, I'm going to take this
so
personal. I'm going to make this research. I'm going to finish the research at my house.
Go on incognito mode real
Yeah.
quick.
I'm going to read the headline, and then I'm going to go into the story. So here's the headline. And I would love for it all to be a slow reveal, but the headline is just so good. I sent it to Pablo on Friday or Saturday night, like 9
Immediately.
p.m. I saw it and I said, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I want to do with my life. The headline is, and it's from Fightful.com. The Undertaker, a 7-year-old named Bjorn threatened to shoot me in the face and called me a Democrat. Now, there's a couple things here. Number one is that I feel like, and maybe this is just me not seeing it, I feel like there's a lack of just total shithead kids anymore. Because when I like, you'd always see like 7-year-olds, you know, in like 1999, and they were just absolute terror.
You don't play video games online?
I don't. What's going on
that's,
there?
a lot.
Oh, they're indoors now. That's the thing.
Yeah, the
They're
kids
are
indoors.
inside.
They used to be at parks.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Dennis the Menace style.
Yeah. There's
Right.
no more. Dennis the Menace now is in a house saying racist stuff on chats.
Yes.
To Katie.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
To
well, if
Katie.
Katie speaks, they go, "Ooh, it's a girl. Ooh, show me your boobie." Like, you know,
Yeah.
they don't say boobies, but I do a lot in this podcast.
Let's get into the story here. It's a
Let's.
5-minute story. Cortez was upset that it's so long we can't just play the entire video.
Yeah.
We'll
It is tempting, though.
It is an unbelievable story. So someone on the WWE security team this is at WrestleMania a couple weeks ago, tells Undertaker, who and more power to him, refers to himself as the Undertaker
Yeah, I'm
many
Googling
times
his
in
real
this
name.
story. His
Does
name
it
is
say
Mark. I believe it's Mark Calloway. I
Yep.
believe it's Mark.
Mark
Calloway,
William Calloway,
Wow.
age 59.
59-year-old.
59.
So
What an Undertaker.
one of the security
Would've
detail
taken the
guys
Overtaker.
is a former Navy SEAL. His son is a huge fan. Now his son is named Bjorn, as we discussed, and the former Navy SEAL does not want the Undertaker to call him because he just wants to be professional about it.
You know, I told the guy, I said, hey, I hear your son's a fan. I said, would you like for me to call him? And he was like, oh, no, don't worry. You know, he was just totally,
Being
professional,
professional,
you know, and I was like, no, it's okay. I said, I know Larry. Larry sent me a text and he was like, man, he goes, nah, it's he's still trying to get out. I said, just let me FaceTime him real quick. And, and he goes, well, can't FaceTime him. And I'm like, okay. And he says, but if you would call him, that would be awesome. And I was like, yeah.
The dad says, you can't FaceTime him.
Okay.
Red flag. So he gets on the phone and says, Bjorn, this is the Undertaker. And he says, hey, Undertaker, how are you? Undertaker starts to mess with him and says, sounds like you're getting in trouble at home.
So I start messing with him like I do everybody, right? I was like, Bjorn, it sounds like to me you're getting in some kind of trouble at home, aren't you? He goes, no, I'm not getting in any trouble. I said, no, I'm pretty sure it sounds like you're up to something. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. He goes, I'm not doing anything I'm not supposed to be doing. You're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. I was like, no. And then this 7-year-old kid goes, hey, I'll shoot you right in the face. I about lost it, right? I said, what? You're going to shoot me? And now his dad is mortified, right? He is just like, oh my gosh. I've put him on the phone. Now he's threatened the Undertaker. So anyway, so I was like, you're not going to shoot me in the face. I'm going to shoot you in the face, right? So now I'm having an argument with a 7-year-old about shooting him in the face, which I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but it was all in good fun. You had to be there
for the moment.
So anyway, so we're going back and forth right now. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he goes, well, you're a Democrat. And I'm like, I'm a Democrat. Where did that come from? What does that mean to you?
There's a couple things here. I would, there's bricking the conversation, which you would do like he got so excited that he misread this. Bjorn got so excited he misread the situation and ended up threatening to shoot the
Named
Undertaker
after a Viking, by the way.
in the face.
I feel like Bjorn was like, this guy comes back from the dead, so let's see what's up.
I feel like Bjorn was being accused of some wrongdoing.
Yes.
Bjorn, being 7, definitely has done something wrong within the past week. This dude is with his dad, and so he's like, I have to back this guy down, or he's going to tell my dad about the bad stuff I did. Because when you tell a 7-year-old you know what they've been up to, the first thing they think is like, shit, I have been up to some stuff.
It's like who was the comedian that had, just as an experiment, had everybody send their significant other a text that just said, I haven't been completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And then just saw what the person would respond, what their significant other would respond with.
Yeah.
That's basically what Taker did to Bjorn.
Yes. I was afraid when I was first watching the video that the little kid was going to be like, yeah, I took some money from my mom. Like he was going to admit the thing he did.
He did something far worse.
A guilty conscience is what you detected with Bjorn.
He's a violent 7-year-old.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going to shoot him in the face.
Politically violent.
And also, you know, if you shoot the Undertaker in the face, he's just going to come back. It's not going to do anything.
Maybe that's the problem, is he didn't
You can't be a
understand
big fan of The Undertaker and not know that shooting him in the face isn't going to get you anywhere.
The Undertaker in 2020 donated $7,000 to Donald Trump.
I mean, 7,000, what's the point?
I mean,
Thanks,
that's the
but no
that's
thanks.
the federal maximum for a in-character wrestler.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Taker LLC.
But the question, the beyond the specifics of the Undertaker arguing with a 7-year-old about who should be shot in the face or not, it does raise the question of like, when you were kids, were there people that you were so excited to meet that you had, this memory that continues to persist? I was an altar server. The priest. This is not where this is going.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Yeet.
This ends without indicting the Catholic Church.
Sure.
Sure. The priest
Somehow.
was the team chaplain of the New York Yankees.
Huh.
And so, what a thrill for me, native New Yorker, giant Yankee fan, to be an altar server. And our parish priest is the team chaplain of the New York Yankees.
Okay.
And I say, Father McMahon, I would love an autograph from my favorite New York Yankee, Derek Jeter.
Unique. Interesting pick.
Good one.
And weeks later, I get a signed, I think it was like, what was it? It was it was a team program. And it says on the program, and I still have this, it says, whatever, best wishes to Pablo Torre from Derek Jeter. And the disappointment is that he misspelled my last name. He spelled it T-O-R-E.
Excuse me.
T-O-R-E.
Pablo Torre.
Yeah.
Which was disappointing to me because his f***ing manager
I was
has
gonna
the same
say,
last name
what do you
as
mean?
me, Joe Torre. And he bricked the interaction.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter bricked the autograph.
All right, so
I resent him.
Okay, why was he putting last names on?
I don't know.
And also,
Just say
best
Pablo.
wishes to a child is
Best
wild.
wishes to Pablo.
Yeah.
Hey, Pablo.
Hey, Pablo,
Keep
thanks for
on-
watching, buddy.
Thanks for watching. Go Yanks.
Hey, amigo.
Go Yanks, pal. Did he break the interaction more or less than you with Daryl Morey?
Oh, boy.
Neither of us emerged looking great.
I don't remember how old I was. But I did meet Nadia Comaneci. She was the first gymnast to get a perfect 10.
Yeah.
And I just remembered telling her I liked her, and she put her arm around me. And she, look, as a little kid, I had a tragic haircut. I had a little boy haircut. And
Can we get a photo of this?
No.
Okay.
And so I
Yes.
feel
Cortez.
like at any point in any interaction with any adult, I got immediate sympathy because I think they knew that, like, what, this poor kid doesn't want this haircut. Their
Yeah.
mom is making them do this. There's
isn't
no
going
way
well
they're
for
the most
them.
popular kid among their friends. So they always gave me the, like, oh, like I always got that
Yeah.
energy as a child because I think they were like, what a precocious young lady who looks like a news anchor.
Yeah.
And so that's basically the
I
energy
had
got.
that being a fat kid.
Yeah.
Like I was always
Can we get
the
a photo of
kid.
that?
Yeah, we can with Stephanie McMahon.
Cortez?
We can do a Stephanie McMahon photo, which will tie into the era of WWE I watch. Also, a photo of Vince McMahon. Cannot put that photo up anymore.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm alarmingly fat in both photos. But I was always the kid who, like, I'd get, like, I was a big hockey fan. I remember when they flipped the puck too because I looked so
Who's your
fat
hockey
and
team?
childish. I'm currently a fan of the New York Rangers. I was a fan of the Orlando Solar Bears when I was a kid.
Orlando Solar
That's
Bears.
not a real team.
Like polar bears?
No, I just said Solar Bears.
But for the sun.
I'm not drawing the connection.
Yeah. All right.
And so I was a big fan of the Solar Bears growing
Great.
up.
I love that. But you were saying, as a hockey fan.
Oh,
the
and
fact
so
that-
I'd always be the guy where they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give the puck or the stick to this kid because he's fat and he's not having a good go of it. You can tell."
Yes.
And so I'd always clean up that way.
Yes. You're so cute. Wait. Let me see it again.
Who's not flipping a puck to that kid?
The
I
fact
mean,
that you're
for
also
real.
wearing like a big polo shirt.
Yeah.
It's like this little gentleman's
back.
working. He's
That's-
working at an
that's
office.
back.
The big polo is back.
The polar
Is it
bears.
back?
The solar bears.
Yeah, the big polo bears.
All right, Katie,
All right.
what you got?
Mine's depressing because it's kind of about our lives.
Oh no.
It's an article in the New York Times. Ever heard of it? By John Coblin. Rhymes with goblin. I'm guessing.
I think it's Koblin.
Damn it. I really wanted it to rhyme with
Rhymed
goblin.
with Goblin.
Why?
Goblin? Well, because what's a goblin? Goblin's
What's
fun.
a ghoul to a goblin?
That's right. Americans' new TV habits: subscribe, watch, cancel, repeat. So basically, they're talking about how something like 40% of these streaming services user base is now subscribing when there's a show they want to watch and then canceling when there isn't something that they want to watch at that. So they'll be like, we want to watch, one of the examples they use is a guy who, him and his wife want to watch Poker Face on Peacock. So they subscribe and they tell each other like, look, if we're not watching this after a couple weeks, we're going to cancel Peacock. We do not need to, we have every streaming service known to man. It's silly to have another one. So that's apparently the younger generations, that's like the default almost for their behavior with these apps, because a lot of those generations, as we know, and we've been told, they're not buying cable. They're signing up for all these different streaming services. And because it's so easy to cancel these streaming services, people will just cancel them when they don't need them and then resubscribe when there's a show that they want to watch. And
Cancel culture. This is a story about
this is
cancel
exactly
culture.
what cancel culture is. So these streaming services are now having to try to, they can't ignore this anymore because it's not just like a niche thing happening. It's like a huge section of their user base. So they're trying to find ways to combat this. And one of the ways,
Oh no.
as we all saw coming, is that they're like reinventing the idea of cable. So they want to package with
These
other
motherfuckers.
streaming companies so that if you're less likely to do this if when you sign up for, let's say, Hulu, you're also getting ESPN Plus and whatever the Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Maybe you've
Those
heard of
people
it.
are less likely to cancel because they're getting access to more things. A lot of companies are thinking about doing that and also offering channels where you can just go and at any time, it's like, I know Peacock does this.
Amazon does it with the MGM Prime.
There's like
Yeah, Disney just announced they're
pre-programmed.
going to start doing it.
Here's the thing that I've always said, because I still have my cord. I did not cut it.
Yes.
Same.
Because for me, it was just like, well, sports will always be on the TV. I'll never have to be like, where do I find this? It's got to be on TV. I know that probably won't be the case soonish. And sometimes, especially during the pandemic, I reached a point where I was like, I don't want to have to pick every time I sit down what I'm going to watch. I want to be able to just go, Catfish, go to some channel that has already been chosen. Catfish is probably a bad example because whoever's programming MTV is really just picking one of those two shows.
Easy
but just
job.
like,
Easy job.
I
would say.
want somebody to pick what I'm going to watch, and then I have to choose from my options instead of being like, you can watch everything available to you. What would you like to watch?
Well, there's also the reason channels are valuable is because watching 20 minutes of something and then that's it. You're just like, oh, I'm just going to watch 20 minutes. All right, it's a commercial, I'm out. Like, that's a hugely valuable experience that we've lost. Zoomers will never understand watching 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan in the middle, kind of forgetting what goes before and after it,
Yep.
and then moving on.
Yes. Look, something that comes up every time I begin to complain or get asked about questions, or complain or get asked about, like, why is the industry going this way? It's like, well, because they killed cable television.
Yeah.
Or because they almost killed cable television to the point where some of us still have it, but the rest of us are left trying to copy. You are both on your phones right now.
I'm doing it because this is my article, and I need to make sure I don't miss any of the important points in it. I don't know why Kevin's been doing it the entire episode.
I'm doing it because A, I'm working today. B, I have a short attention span.
The short attention span, though, is entirely why it feels like people are presuming cable needs to go away. And then everyone's realizing, because the business that replaced cable is not nearly as good as cable, oh shit, we got to bring cable back. And I don't know if people outside of sports media specifically acutely understand this in the way that I think is very obvious, people who do work inside of it. But like ESPN, as John Skipper likes to say on the Sporting Class, the show I do with them here at Meadowlark Media, ESPN was the greatest business model in the history of media.
Even though ESPN, you're talking about it, and you are correct on that, I actually don't think they're the biggest beneficiaries. Biggest beneficiaries are like the weird baseball, like $9 a month team-owned channels, like the Yes Network, like whatever. There's like 25 of them now. And basically baseball is completely propped up by cable television, by these local things. That's why like the collapse of Bally over like last year was such a big deal, and why I'm actually pretty nervous about baseball's future is it literally so much of it relies on the ability to bilk San Diegans out of $7 a month. And so like ESPN, I think, will survive much better than those channels. But it's still the same thing, which is non-sports fans paying for the enjoyment of sports fans.
And what people are realizing to the point of this story is that it's now so expensive that they are cycling through subscriptions like they're flipping through channels.
Right.
And the promise of course, streaming was that when you're in an a la carte system in which you choose to pay for what you want to eat, as opposed to paying for a bunch of stuff that you never watch, you're going to pay less, and it's going to be easier. And none of those things have really come true. It's the way that technology is constantly disrupting things only to then sell you a worse version of the thing they disrupted.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're back to cable television. Cool.
I swear to God, I bought my first DVD in 20 years today.
I didn't know they were still doing those.
It's a Blu-ray.
That's sick.
Well, it's The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, an amazing movie that I just wanted to watch very badly last night. And I've had this urge many times, and it was like $12 to buy on Amazon. No place was having it stream, but it streams all the time. But it's one of those that comes off and then comes back on and comes off and comes back on. And so...
how did you play this? How do you plan on playing this?
Well, I have an Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what those are best
I
for
don't get
now.
on the chats to find out about the racist 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
But I do
They say
sometimes
hi.
they do.
You're using an Xbox in the oldest possible way as a
I
DVD
also
player.
like play FIFA. Anyway, so I literally, it's the same thing where I was just like, I'm tired of every 6 months being like, where is it streaming? And if not, paying $2 to buy it, I'm just going to buy a $12 DVD. I am doing exactly what this is, where it's physical media, cable, bring back 2001.
Well, it's kind of like a parallel to how vinyl also has made a comeback in recent decades relative to the arc of it. It's because people have been so frustrated by Napster and the domino effects of streaming music that they're like, people have become, and I think understandably, like apocalypse preppers, where it's like, I don't trust this to exist and survive. And so I need my own collection of physical things to put into my pyramid to be buried with, so I have access to it for as long as I want.
Well, it's also... Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, it's also true of digital media and writing, where a lot of people save everything they've ever written because they have no faith that a private equity company
The SI Vault
it's just gone.
truly is like, is unreadable.
Unreadable.
Well, it's
And
also...
there's some articles by Pablo Torre that have never been readable, but now, like, literally, physically.
Good.
Now they're actually undermining
It's
me.
also that if you take out the capitalism of it all, and you were just to look at the like, okay, back then we used to have to watch things when they were on TV. We had no way of recording it or controlling when we could watch what we wanted to watch. And then we've evolved to a place where you can watch anything you want at any time, taking the money out of it. That sounds like progress. But then you remember that the people who were making money off the old model want to make even more money off the new model. And they make it to a point where now we don't own anything. You have to pay for the
you're
ability to
renting
access any of
perpetually.
the things you want to watch. You can never just like go watch them. And they've gotten to the point where they're getting rid of somebody. Best Buy just recently was like, we're done with physical media. We're not selling it anymore. And I would bet if this keeps going, we would get our next generation of like PlayStations or Xboxes won't even have that slot in them, the way that laptops no longer have, unless you specifically ask for it, a CD drive. Like they're phasing out physical media and causing you to have to pay. David Zaslav, that's how you guys say that's
Yeah, he was
idiot's
sitting
name.
courtside at Madison Square Garden earlier this week.
He got a raise. He got a raise. And he canceled shows that were
The head of
made or
Warner
movies that
Brothers,
were
yeah.
made and did not run them because it was more beneficial for them on the tax side. And he got a raise. He made $49.7 million compared with $39.3 million the year before. Like media is going, like less has been made and that guy's making more than he made the year before, and that should not be the way that it works. The people that are in charge of giving us the content don't touch the content, have nothing to do with the making of it, and are not in any way incentivized to make good content. And that scares the shit
That
out
seems
of
fine.
me. That scares the shit
fine.
out of me.
The cancellation part of this is also interesting to me. Because cancellation, look, so Kevin's wife works for the Wall Street Journal. I subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. Part of the reason I subscribe is because I once tried to cancel the Wall Street Journal, and it was too difficult.
Yep. It's like a gym.
We send some goons to your house.
Well, what they make you do, and I think this is a smart thing, truly, and it's worth paying for in all honesty, of course, it's that, defending Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal, they're a good product.
He needs the money.
I need the money.
Teddy needs the money.
Teddy needs the money.
But the reality is what they make you do is jump through hoops. You have to call a number.
Yeah.
You can't just click on a link. You
Same
have
with
to
cable.
call a yes.
Same
and
with
so it's
cable.
like canceling cable. And none of that should be a coincidence given the conversation we just had. The point is make it difficult for you to get rid of something because
That's what they're gonna do.
you're
I
so
bet.
desperate.
This article
you to
made me
stay.
go
Well,
like, they're gonna now go, well, if you same way Netflix was like, oh, you can only use this in one household and you have to name your. Now they're gonna be like, canceling's actually really difficult.
I need to look this up. There's a huge percentage of AOL's revenue that comes from people just never canceling.
Yeah, that's like gyms.
Great.
Like not
Gyms are the
canceling
same
in
way.
2004 and being
like
like,
ghost
yeah,
chat
I don't
rooms.
know. I don't know what's going on.
1.5 million people still paying a monthly subscription
to
to
AOL.
AOL. I should point out 1.5 million people as of 2021. And what they get in exchange for their subscription service fee is technical support and identity theft software.
Oh God, they love to sell old people on identity theft software. They're like, listen, people out here want to be you. Don't let them be. They say dark web and identity theft,
They wanna
and
be-
old people are like, take my money.
Brian St. Pierre needs some of that. But the
Artists.
the one thing
Artists need some of that.
The one thing is that if you are buying identity theft software from AOL, it is likely too late.
Yeah.
It is likely that you've been stolen many times.
Yep. Yeah, I want to reserve like the domain name of like Anerica online, like one letter off, and just sell people fake identity theft software.
That sounds illegal.
All right, what did we find out today,
Oh
guys?
God, so much.
We learned what here today?
We learned.
I'm surprised I didn't anticipate that the shithead 7-year-olds were all indoors playing Warzone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you got to keep your kid off that for a while.
I want my kid to be a huge baseball fan because when I was watching a lot of baseball, I was a pretty big dork. Because you can't, if you're watching baseball, it's like 162 and
It is a lot.
and
It's a
you're
long
like
slog.
reading, you're reading Bill James and stuff,
Yeah.
And then you just never really get.
The baseball little kids are all right. Did you see that clip the other day of a kid? Go to the tape.
Oh,
we
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
it. Of the kid trying to get to his seat, and the lady's got her legs up, and he
Oh, yeah,
asks her to move, and she won't move her feet.
Whoa! Why'd you do that? You're 11-year-olds. You're 80. They're alive.
He like yells at her in a really, he like owns her in a kind of respectful
Was it Bjorn?
way. It was Bjorn. And he said, I'm going to shoot you in the face. And she said, I'm a Republican. And then they hugged. It's
wow.
weird. Baseball kids are all right. Baseball's good for kids.
How about gamer kids? Not as good.
No, I mean, they can be if their parents would just like, I don't know, be in the same room as them when they game and go, hey, maybe we don't say that word. What did I learn today? I learned that there are people who've never seen the show Catfish.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you guys still existed.
I was watching baseball.
Yeah,
I told
that's
you.
fair. That is fair.
I was watching 2003.
Did you see the report
I was
the other
watching Billy
day?
Koch closing out games for the White Sox.
Did you see the report the other day that
Fastball on that
that a
guy.
lot of streaming services are trying to come up with second screen content, which used to mean stuff that was happening on your phone while you
Yeah.
were watching TV. Now it means stuff that happens on TV while you're on your phone. So they found that people were like they didn't want things that had too deep of a plot or that needed too much of your
Yeah.
attention because they were mostly scrolling their phone, but they did want something to play in the background, which is what I explained Catfish was for me. But these places are now trying to program that.
The reason I watch a lot of History Channel documentaries is that I am just not paying attention at all, kind of like me on this show today, where I'm just on the phone. And that was a joke. I am paying attention to this show. I know you think I'm on my phone the whole time, but I'm
Debatably.
You literally have
I'm
been on your
locked
phone
in.
this entire show.
That's not true. People can watch this. Tally up how often I was on my phone.
Please put a
Tally
little
it up.
ding at the bottom of the screen every time.
I was scrolling. I was buying DVDs.
What I found out today is that Kevin Clark, despite being on his phone this entire episode, has the oldest possible interests.
Yeah.
Truly.
I think we knew that.
You just,
No, I think
he was
that's true.
about to, I cut him off accidentally now, before he could explain why he's into the History Channel.
With the
Yeah.
docs. Because the History Channel, like the actual
Oh,
channel on cable,
You're a pre-Republican. You're in the early stages.
you got to subscribe to the History Vault on Amazon Prime.
That's where you get the good stuff.
That's where you get the goods.
That's where you learn about wars.
Yep. Wars and presidents.
They keep the
Like,
best wars
really
behind. They
cheesy.
paywall the best wars.
That's
They
right.
really do.
Yeah, OnlyFans, but for tanks.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Panzer.
Only Panzer.
Blurred out. OnlyPans. now we're,
Only
OnlyPans?
pans. Only pans.
there it is.
Wow. We got there. Check your phone.
But as for all the people who help make this show what it is, a paywall-worthy product that we give you for free, Pablo Torre Finds Out is produced by Michael Antonucci, Ryan Cortez, Sam Daywig, Juan Galindo, Patrick Kim, Neely Lohman, Rachel Miller-Howard, Ethan Schreier, Carl Scott, Matt Sullivan, Chris Tuminello, and Juliet Warren. Our studio engineering by RG Systems, our post-production by NGW Post, our theme song, as always, by John Bravo. We will talk to you on Tuesday.